I heard that you wanted my gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free, and cannabis-free recipe to my banana bread. Well, today's your lucky day. Period. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kiara, and today I'm showing you how I make my gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, and cane sugar-free banana bread. It's still good and delicious, and you can still have it while you are on your weight loss journey. Okay, because last time I was in this kitchen cooking up something on camera, I didn't look like this. Period. So yes, take this as your sign to just start the journey, okay? You can do it if you simply just use wholesome ingredients instead of extra processed sugars and dairy, which can cause inflammation and raise those cortisol levels. I make this all the time. I use 3 ripe bananas. I use 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I use a squeeze of blue agave, yes child, a literal squeeze, 3/4 cup of date sugar. I use a half cup of an egg replacement. You can use just egg or flaxseed gel. I used a half cup of vegan butter. I used 1.5 cups of brown rice flour. The walnuts are optional, but child, just add them because they good. A half teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, what you want to do with those bananas is place them in a bowl, and you really want to mash these together until they are nice and smooth, making sure that there are no chunks in this mixture. Once you've gotten your bananas nice and smooth, go ahead and add in your egg replacement and mix that well. So I got my pan. I have my banana and my egg in this big bowl right here, making sure that it's nice and mixed together. You see that? While I'm looking for whatever I'm looking for, child, make sure that you preheat that oven to 350 degrees. So I have my 3 ripe bananas and my just egg, dry ingredients that I'm gonna add in. Wait a minute. I literally almost forgot to add in the rice flour, but child, I corrected it, so whatever. That would have been terrible though. But anyways, I'm adding all of my dry ingredients to one bowl, making sure they're mixed well, and then I'm adding my wet ingredients to the mixture of egg and banana, and I'm making sure those are mixed really, really well. I'm pouring in the dry ingredients slowly, mixing it, slowly adding more, mixing it, slowly adding more, and mixing it, just to make sure that it's mixed well and that you don't have any clumps and things like that. So this step is pretty important, so please do not skip it. And I have my walnuts on the stove roasting right now. So the walnuts are optional, but I'm going to show you how I roast mine. So I take a skillet and I put it on really low heat, and I add a little bit of avocado oil to the bottom of the pan. Now I try to crush up my walnuts. I put them in the skillet, and then I also add some blue agave syrup after they roast a little bit. I put them on parchment paper to let them cool, and then I add them to the mixture. The smaller you crush these, the better, because when you start cutting into your loaf, it may make it harder to cut and make clean slices. So keep that in mind. I'm taking my pan now and I'm taking some parchment paper and I'm making it into 2 smaller pieces so that I could make like a cross section inside of the baking pan, because it's going to make it a little bit easier to manipulate once it does come out of the oven. Now this is not a requirement, but again, it does make it a lot easier on you. So here's the walnuts. I'm going to be adding them to the mixture. Add as much as you want. I happen to really like walnuts, and I'm also going to use the leftover ones to top the loaf as, like, a little bit of decoration, child, because I just love them. They so good. And that's some good sources of protein. I don't know if you know or not, but child, walnuts are dang near a superfood. Okay, so eat your walnuts. They're high in magnesium. Also, a lot of times when I look back on my videos, I'm like, why am I making that face? I guess that's my real focus face. Like the lips being tight, just like I'm doing too much, child. But anyways, go ahead and start pouring your batter into your pan. It should be nice and thick. It should already smell really, really good, even though you haven't even cooked it yet. It's just all those good flavors just marrying each other, okay? put it in the pan, and then once you get all of the batter out, take your spatula and try to flatten it out, make it straight, make it nice and neat, because the better you do that, the prettier your loaf will be. So that's what I'm doing here. And then, like I said, I'm going to take the rest of my leftover walnuts and I'm going to just sprinkle them over the top of my loaf, pressing down on some of them just to make sure that they bake within the loaf so that they're not just falling off. You know what I'm saying? So I made that mistake before, just thinking I could just sprinkle it. And then when I took it out and started cutting, child, they all just was falling all over the place. And I was so mad because one thing about me, I'm going to eat some candied walnuts. Okay? So this is what it will look like. Here is a better view of that. It looks so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven for 55 minutes, y'all. Okay? Not a minute too early, not a minute too late. Okay? But if you happen to have a different type of stove, just check your stuff every now and again if you have to. So it's finally out. This is what it looks like. It smells so good in my house. And now it's about to be time for me to do a taste test. And child, I cannot wait. First, I'm going to melt a little bit of butter, and then I'm going to take my little brush and I'm going to brush the top of my loaf. So that's what I'm preparing to do now. Now, see, this is why it's so much better to use that parchment paper. You see how that just came out so clean? Look at that. Okay? Perfection. Perfection. Now, I really should wait for this to cool off before I start cutting into it, but child, I just could not wait. So right after I finish buttering this, I am going to cut into it. But I want to give you a close-up of how it looked after it's all nice and buttered. Look at that loaf. I just want to say that there has not been a banana bread that I've made yet that I did not love. So I'm too anxious. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this now. Look at how good that looks. And it's so hot. You're supposed to let it cool off a little bit before you start cutting into it. But I want this so badly right now. So I'm gonna taste it. This is too good. Oh my goodness. Now, it will be darker than your usual banana bread because of the date sugar. But if you do not have a cane sugar intolerance, or you don't care about using cane sugar, you can use cane sugar. You can use coconut sugar. You can use whatever sugar alternative you want to, but the date sugar will make it a little bit darker, but it is not lacking in taste. It's buttery, it's thick. The caramelized walnuts is doing it for me. It's hot. I want some milk, hold on. I am using Ripple plant milk. I'm gonna take a bite and take a sip. I mean, it's perfect. I'm not even playing. It's literally perfect. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm about to cut me another slice.